Good morning again to all. This is going to be another video that I just came across that I wanted to show people that I spoke on about Pete Hasketh and also JD Vance, also along with Hakeem Jeffries. This is why it's important that people are aware of things that don't get shown on the liberal news stations. And you will find it by people doing their own research and sharing these topics on YouTube. The things that you have to be aware of for your own good and for your own safety. Don't be ignorant that you got to be everybody's friend or everybody belongs here, that America is for everyone. America is for those who want to come here and live and do the right thing. Those who enjoy freedom, those who don't mind being workers in America, building their lives here in America, and assimilating into the American culture and leaving whatever problems they had in their own country behind and coming to United States of America for a whole new beginning and a better life for your freedom. Working, pay your taxes, raise your families, and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful country. It's not for people to come here and harm other people or hurt other people because you got some mental things going on in your life that you brought with you from your own country, or you can't take the pressure of living in the United States without any support from your own community, right? And it says Trump just posted this graphic video of a deadly hammer attack in Florida, and it put renewed focus on immigration debate. Let's read about it and then I'm going to show you the video. It says an undocumented Haitian man has been charged with murder after repeatedly striking a woman with a hammer outside a convenience store in Florida last week. The latest immigration case thrust into the national spotlight by President Donald Trump. Robert Joachim, 40, is in custody and accused of authorities of killing the woman who has been publicly identified during the interaction at a gas station in Fort Myers on the 2nd of April, according to court documents. The victim was working as a store clerk at the gas station. According to the documents, a man who knew the victim told CNN affiliated WBBH she was a member of the Bangladeshi community in Fort Myers. In a post on social Thursday evening, Trump shared shocking surveillance footage of the killing, calling it the result of immigration policies under former President Joe Biden, and reiterated inflammatory rhetoric associating immigrants with crime. Trump's amplification of the video is the latest in a years long campaign to use certain killings as apparent evidence for stricter border enforcement. The video of her brutal slaying is one of the most vicious things you will ever see, Trump said in his post, referring to the suspect as an animal and criticizing humanitarian protection previously granted for Haitians. Gruesome video of the interaction also shared online. The Department of Homeland Security shows a man repeatedly hitting the hood and sides of a car parked in the gas station parking lot with an object, an apparent hammer in his hand. A woman is exiting the store and approaching the man, appearing to speak to him, and the man turns and walks towards her, according to the video, which is then lightly blurred due to the graphic nature of the attack. An immediate strike the woman in the head with the object in his right hand, forcing her to fall backwards onto the store's sidewalk. He is then seen striking her another 6 times on her head and torso before walking over her body and away from the scene. Police received calls at 7:19 a.m. notifying them that a woman had been hit with a hammer. According to court documents, when multiple officers responded to the scene, they found the woman unresponsive, lying on the ground, and she was not breathing. According to this document, witnesses told police they had seen a man striking a vehicle, then striking the woman in the head with a mallet, according to the arrest report. Through the civilians' video, authorities identified the suspect, who they said had previous interactions with police, and were able to arrest him later in the day. The documents say he has been charged with murder. Mm. Murder, criminal mischief, and damage to property. Over 1,000 and third-degree felony, according to the court documents. CNN has reached out to Joaquin's lawyers. He's being held without bond after a hearing in Lee County Court Wednesday and is scheduled to be arraigned on May the 4th. A memorial has been erected outside the gas station where the woman was killed, according to WBBH. Friends and family describe her as a loving mother devoted to her faith. Everybody, like, right now is sad. Not only me, not only my Bangladeshi community. MD Islam, a member of the Bangladeshi community in Fort Myers, told. Also, all of us people also around the world, they are very sad to see this news. In statement Tuesday, DHS said immigration and custom enforcement agents assisted Fort Myers police in tracking down and arresting Joel Kim in the city. According to DHS, Joel Kim first entered the U.S. on August of 2022. A federal judge issued a final order of removal. Mm. Removal against him in 2022, but the government granted him temporary protective status, which expired in 2024. The agency said the Biden administration granted him and all Haitians temporary protective status, a massively abused and fraudulent program which my administration is working to terminate. Trump wrote in his post Thursday, "This one killing should be enough for these radical judges to stop impeding my administration's immigration policies and allow us to end this scam once and for all." Praise God. The Trump administration has long sought to terminate the protection for more than 350,000 Haitians, but the efforts were blocked earlier this year by the federal judge. Argued DHS didn't conduct the necessary review of whether it's safe for them to return to Haiti. The administration has since asked the Supreme Court to intervene on its behalf. In this Truth Social post, Trump continued to accuse Democrats of allowing criminals, lunatics, and the mental insane from all over the world to pour into our country totally unvetted and unchecked. Please say a prayer for the innocent woman family, the wrote regarding the killing. We will ensure quick and severe justice is served in this case. Amen. This is sad. This, like, the woman probably should never have approached the man. I would have locked the store and I probably would have called the police instead than to approach him. But let's look at the video. Because you see somebody's insane like that, I am not approaching you. You got a hammer in your hand. You are damaging property and doing whatever you doing. I am not going to approach you. I'm going to lock that damn store and I'm going to call the police or get if there's a gun in the store, I'm going to find it and I'm going to try to use it on your behind. Okay? Because there's no way I would have walked up to him and said anything over some property.
Reactive healthcare not only affects us as individuals,
I have to go through
it
this
costs
video.
The health system
I'm
trillions
sorry,
of
y'all.
dollars.
We had to listen to this
Our
commercial.
job at Pronuvo is to identify disease so early that it can be easily treated, to take the guesswork out of how we are feeling. My scan didn't show any abnormal markers. Everything I was concerned about came back benign. Seeing the report, understanding how my lifestyle impacts my health, while I still have time to do something about it, it's amazing.
Book your Pronuvo scan today. Learn more at Pronuvo.com.
Now you see the car over there. He's over there. You see, she came out the store. I would have never came out the store. Bam. You see? That's all you can see right now. You see how he approached her? See, the thing is that she should never have stepped out the store to him. This shows you that sometimes these people are not thinking. They used to doing this stuff in their own country, coming out and approaching situations like this, dangerous situation. You don't do that. You lock the store. You call the police if there is anything in there to protect you. You make sure you put yourself in a safe place in the store, and you don't approach anybody that you find dangerous, and especially coming out of the store. I learned a long time ago when I worked as a in retail in a department store. And one of the things they trained us not to do is when somebody is stealing, you call security. You don't follow them. You give a description of who they are, and you don't follow them out the store. You don't do that. You don't risk your life with a thief or anybody doing anything suspicious or anything that is damaging to property or whatever. You just call the police. You hide, you find yourself to safety. You don't follow anybody out the store. You don't know what they might have with them to kill you if they trying to get away. It's one thing that was taught. This poor woman, I'm sorry she lost her life. My heart goes out to her and her family, her loved ones. But let this be a lesson to any of us. When we see something, we find the safest place we can hide and call the police. That's their job, not yours. You got to get yourself to safety. These people are dangerous. This woman walked out of the store into the hands of this crazy lunatic. And even if she would have known him or whatever, I would have just put myself in, I would not put myself in harm's way. But my heart goes out to her loved ones. This could have happened to anybody. Him breaking her car windows or doing whatever, I would have been calling. I would, you got insurance. You got insurance. I hope you got insurance. And if you don't, then hey, but still in all, you don't come out of safety. I just wanted to just share this with y'all real quickly because I just spoke on things that not everybody is supposed to be here. Some people can't handle change of living in a new country. They already under so much other stuff from their old ways and their old country of how things are done. And the mind takes a while before it even adjusts to the new way of life. You go into culture shock. Let me tell you, I moved around quite a few times since I left out of New York. And even when I moved, even while I was in New York City, moving from one borough to the next borough was culture shock. You have to get adjusted to the new way of doing things, how to do things, and it takes time before people can get to that place in their mind. So the mind is very tricky, and if you that's why I don't leave out of my country because I know I'm not good at changing. I don't adjust very well to change, especially change in a foreign place, going to a foreign country, learning foreign new culture. I just can't. I at that age now. I can't do that. I know I can't do it. So why would I even want to force myself to do something I know is not going to work for me? And that's what I feel about people before they come to the United States of America. Before you even think about even wanting to become an American, you should at least visit, come on a visa, come here to visit the country sometimes. Come and see some of the places that you might seem to like here. And you might stay, a month or so or whatever, just to get to know the place you're going to live, get to familiar with some of the culture and everything else. You just move to a new place. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be an easy adjustment for you. For children, it is. But for adults, it's not. Especially once you reach a certain age, you're not going to change. It's going to be harder to change, especially when you lived in a country all your life and this is all you know when you become an adult. Now, for a young person who's used to traveling and going to live in other places of the world and used to that type of adjustment in them, then that's different from someone who comes directly from a poor country, from a place of poverty, crime, and just this kind of lifestyle. You come to the United States, you feel you could just do these things and just be excused for it. And then you're not educated enough to understand what TPS means. It doesn't mean you're here forever. It only means you're here temporarily. But in the meantime, while you're here, try to work, try to have money to, build something when you go back to your country or whatever, when it's that time to go. Or when it's that time to pay up for your, if you want to naturalize here, that you have the funds and the whatever, so you can become a naturalized citizen. But you just can't move to a country without really knowing much about the laws and the culture or anything. And people do that. It's just like moving to another state. When I moved out of New York and I had to move down to South Carolina, things were so different for me. Even though this is my mother's land, this is where my mother was from. I went down there to her home first to be around her people. And it was totally different for me. I'm used to being in a small setting. I mean, even though I'm from New York, but when it comes to my home life, it's quiet. I'm not used to noise. I'm not used to a crowd of people running in and out the doors and people visiting my house all the time. No, I'm not used to that. I've always lived a life where I've always kept my home quiet. I don't like too much in and out, in and out, in and out. It's just not my type of thing. I don't entertain that much in my home. I don't do too much entertaining. When I do go out, when I'm invited to celebrations, only time you'll see me ever give a gathering or something during in my home is during the holidays. I don't do this every weekend. Somebody's hanging out in my house or people hanging out. I got people traveling and visiting my home all the time. I never had that much activity. Never did. Even growing up as a child, we never had too much company running in and out of our house. My mother was like, no, I don't want all these kids hanging out in my house when I'm not here. So it's just the way we were brought up to be, and it's hard to live around certain types of energy. And even in New York, like I said, I grew up in New York all my life. I done things outdoors. People gave birthday celebrations. I went out to dinner with them to celebrate somebody's birthday. We had celebrated at a dinner or something like that, or go out for drinks and a birthday celebration. Things of that. I just didn't do the things like some people like a lot of gatherings, a lot of noise around them, a lot of excitement around them. I don't. And if I don't have anything to do or anywhere to go, I just don't leave my house. Okay? If I don't have anything important to do, I just don't leave my house unless I got to go to the supermarket. Sometimes I'll just go out for a walk or whatever. But if I don't have anything to do, I just don't go nowhere. As simple as that. I don't even like visiting people, going to people's house to visit. But back to what I'm saying here about this man who came with this mallet or this hammer, whatever he did to destroy this woman's property, doing something like that, and then attacked her as well, killed her, hammered her to death. But this woman, she should have never walked out in that doggone kind of danger. Even got close, let him get close. I would have ran in and locked the doors and got a something. But it is what it is. And so, like I said, the president, he's on top of the job. He's like, this is the kind of crime that comes into our country. This is the stuff we trying to stop. With people coming here, they don't really understand the system here. And they kind of like lunatic from where they come from. They already got mental health issues or mental illness. We got our own mental illness in the United States of America, dealing with our own homeless and the mentally ill. And most of them are out there because they are mentally ill, because they difficult for people to live around. They don't bathe, they don't shower, they talk all night. You don't even know what their mind is telling them. You can't feel safe around them or anything. But they feel safer in the street than they are in somebody else's house. And sometimes they even in living in people property, they damage the property, they destroy the apartment, they become, what you would call hoarders, and bring all kind of bugs and disease, things in people homes or whatever. Yes, we need places for them to put them in, but even when you put them in places, they destroy it. So it's really hard to live around the mentally ill. And when the mind is sick, you don't want to mess with that. Nobody wants to mess with anybody that don't keep a healthy mind. It's kind of scary to live around people that are in that kind of, no matter how much you love them and how much you care about them, but if they mind seem a little off and they seem a little weird and a little crazy, you just not going to risk having your life around somebody that can do some serious damage to you. Not even a son that come out of prison. You don't, especially if they've been there for a certain period of time. It's very hard to live in that kind of environment with someone, especially if you ain't never been in prison yourself. You never been in any kind of hardcore crime and lived in a certain environment before. It will be very hard for you to bring someone in your home to live under that type of condition. I'm just saying, but this is something I just needed to share. I'm sure a lot of other platforms are sharing it as well, about why we come in so hard on TPS. Why is people being removed from the United States of America on TPS status? Because this person was supposed to have been removed since 2024. We in 2026. This is 2 years ago. And this person was in some problems, had some trouble before. But because of the auto pen, because I don't know if it was Joe Biden, I can't really say Joe Biden, but his administration, due to his illness, somebody took an auto pen and was running the White House, and not Joe Biden. Okay, because he wasn't in the right form of mind. He just wasn't well enough. And it's sad that they allowed the people to be hidden from the people, that this went on so long in the United States of America. And you see why we have the crackdown that we do have, and things are just out of control the way it is. It seems like it's out of control, but we got to stay in prayer. We got to stay prayerful, keep our president encouraged, and also the administration, the Trump administration, encouraged. I ain't got time for nobody's foolishness or performance or whatever. I just really like the fact that this administration is serious about what they're doing, and they know what they're doing, and they know things have really gotten out of control here in the U.S., especially when it comes to cracking down on illegal immigration. Okay, it's a very serious thing, because this woman's life could have been probably saved if this man was taken and deported. Regardless to the condition in Haiti right now, we don't, that's not our problem, because we got our problems to fix here right now. So we really can't afford to really take in anybody that's having a hard time in their country. We really can't. We really can't afford it anymore. We just can't. They just gonna have to find a way to fight that government over there and get that government together, because we can't take in the whole continent. We can't take in the whole country of Haiti, because it's like taking in all their problems. They have to figure it out how they gonna fix their problems in Haiti. How they gonna get a government that's gonna work for the Haitian people? How is going to make sure that the citizens of that country are going to have some type of law and order, where they can protect citizens over there and jobs over there for people to work and people to build their lives and stay in their own country and live there and be happy there. We can't keep taking in everybody's problems in America. They have to find a way to work with their government, and their government have to work with their citizens and their people. They have to fix their problems. We can't fix everybody's problems. We have our own problems, just like any other country. We have to fix the criminals in our country. We have to fix the problems with our poor in our country. We have to educate the uneducated in our country. We have to give health care to those who are in need and poor here in our country. We can't keep letting American people be last and everybody else be before the American people. We have to take care of our own now, and they have to learn how to take care of their own and do something about the problems they have in their own country and educate their own people and get their people to function in wow, you know, in society. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Everybody should learn to take care of their own. But anyway, I'm running behind schedule, so you all be blessed. And if God's willing, I may or may come back with something later. Take care and peace.